My dear Sitecore family. So, in today's episode, we are going to have Sahil Singla. Sahil basically is from a sales background. He, he has been selling products, services, and stuff like that with different organizations. And recently, he joined Horizontal. And as a part of this particular series, where we are talking of not just with the developers, but with other roles who are going to be, working with the implementation team, or for that matter, working with Sitecore in some conjunction you know so we thought, why not also consider Sahil for this particular podcast. So that is where he is going to be sharing his experience around sales, and why Sitecore matters to him now. And like he has been in the Sitecore ecosystem from a sales background since a few years now. And if we look at his overall background, he's more of a rock star. He has been a lead singer in one of the bands during his college times, and a great personality, if you really look at it. So I enjoyed this conversation with Sahil, and I hope you all too. And at the end of the episode, I just feel that we all get some golden nuggets for all of us, uh, out of this particular conversation. So let's see how it goes. Hey, my dear Siteco family. So today we have with us Sahil Singla. So Sahil comes in from a sales background, and he has been in the sales background, selling multiple products and things to various clients. And today, just let's hear his experience. Recently he joined Horizontal team.
Yeah.
And so let's just hear out his experience overall from a sales perspective, and his thoughts around Sitecore, and the selling in Sitecore. So let's get started.
Of course.
So
Thanks for
Sahil,
having me.
firstly, thank you for your time
Thanks for having me.
on making it to this podcast. And let's get started with understanding it from like a sales background. So whenever we hear like a sales guy, right, there are different notions coming into picture. It's just going and selling something, but it's not as easy as said.
Yeah.
So would you like to take us through your journey coming up and coming into sales and stuff like that?
All right. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I think you're doing a great job with your podcast. I hope the viewers like today's episode as well. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think sales is not easy. I think it's a journey of sorts. And back in the college years, I had interest in music, event coordination, event management, and because of that, I got the opportunity to meet a lot of people, right? We become friends with them, and by virtue of that, as a person, I was trying to sell myself back then, right? And it was only during the MBA years. So I mean, my career started off as a software developer, and later on, I got more interested on the business side of things. So started playing a role of a bid manager, which is a pre-sales manager of sorts. I'm sorry. So in that role, I got exposed to how a business reacts, or how a client thinks while they're making a purchase for themselves, how a salesman thinks, how the sales convinces the internal stakeholders, or how the sales guy negotiates with the clients, right? So that's an exposure I got as a bid manager. I did that for 5 years, and then during the MBA years, one of my friends, they said that you would better suit at a sales role. Then I was like, okay, why not give it a try? And I got through campus placement with one of the IT majors in India back in the year 2017. Uh, so the kind of sales there, I was handling large accounts. So large accounts, they are global banking majors who have their captive centers in India. So I used to provide digital transformation solutions to them. Along with it, we used to sell our expertise in various skill sets, right? So that went on, and but then somewhere I was feeling that I need to add more product knowledge to my kitty.
Correct.
And hence I got interested in the digital marketing / digital transformation space. And prior to joining Horizontal, I was working with another IT major in India who happens to be playing in the similar field as Horizontal. So they're also a platinum partner of Sitecore's, and we used to cater to the US market back then. With them, I came to know, how a buyer in the US would think, right? So, and previously I had worked in the India region, so there was a stark difference in how a buyer in India versus a buyer in US thinks.
Yeah.
Right. And with Horizontal, the past 6 months, I've been given the responsibility to look into the India market, and I think being an Indian, I know how Indians think, how Indians respond. We understand that India market is a little price sensitive, and a lot of things get done in India at a relationship level. Not everything is written,
Yeah.
right? Not everything is documented in a SOW. So I think India market is very relationship driven
And agile, I believe.
and
A
agile.
little more agile, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think so that's been my journey. So from a event manager / a rock star of sorts, I was a vocalist in the indie pop bands in the past. I have been on bands in Delhi, Bangalore, Bombay over the past several years, and I love interacting with people, and hence I think I'm enjoying my time in sales as well. And past 6 months with Horizontal have been pretty rewarding and challenging at the same time. We've
Right.
been able to offer solutions to one of the major pharma companies in India. And today, while I'm here in Vadodara, we are hosting the same client. So yeah, that's been my journey, and I am looking forward to be offering Sitecore specialty, Sitecore solutioning to host of other India clients who want to embark on their digital transformation, who want to improve their customers' digital experiences on their websites. So with that view, I think I'm enjoying this space of Sitecore and digital customer experiences.
So overall, I loved your journey.
Mhm.
Let's start with when you started on the sales. So of course you would be in kind of similar situations where either you are selling a custom product or a custom implementation versus a product that is either only services or product or service and product both. So can you just share your thoughts in all of these cases, or maybe in specifically in those cases wherein you have been involved with different clients or customers during their journey?
Yeah, I think uh, being in sales, you get to meet a lot of people with different requirements, and there are clients who feel that they would want to develop their website, a customized website of sorts, right? Uh, which will have its own limitations, while it will come maybe at a lesser pricing for them, but it comes with their own limitations. And whereas others, who are the companies which are a little larger in their revenues and their sizes, they want to go with the best of the world products. And so I, as a sales guy, have to understand how much appetite does this company have to spend on their digital customer experiences.
So how do you identify that?
So we identify it basis their revenue, one, but yeah, not every company which is high, which earns high revenue, would want to spend on their digital marketing or their digital transformation.
Fair point. Yeah.
But we usually come to know of their seriousness or their willingness to embark on a digital transformation journey basis interviews, basis discussions with them. Another source of truth for us is in their presence on the digital social media. If they are doing something on say LinkedIn or their Instagram pages, or they have any YouTube presence,
Right.
right? Or their stakeholders want to, and at times it happens that there's a change at the leadership level.
Yeah.
Somebody who brings in fresh ideas, and you know uh, a new person nudges the system and wants to suggest that we
It takes a
embark.
different direction,
Yeah,
maybe a direction
yeah,
towards transformation.
yeah, and I think that's the way to grow.
Yeah.
And that's how uh, and hence the need for fresh blood in any company or in any industry.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, how do we identify if a company wants to go on a digital journey or would want a customized solution or a ready product? I think it's a mix of understanding their current digital presence and basis our interviews with the stakeholders in the digital transformation space. And in my experience, in the India market, I've seen that uh, usually companies with larger revenue base and with the with the growth of digital transformation, I think a lot of companies in India are showing interest towards going on this journey.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, if we're talking about how what would suit which kind of product would suit, is it a customized solution, is it a customized CMS, or a product based, already a productized solution? I think uh, what I've seen is the larger enterprises are going for more of a product, right? And the benefit with the product is that the the base of the product is already set, right? It's only the customization, right, that needs to be taken care of. And I think we say usually, the companies say that you want to have a better user interface or better front end, but we have to educate our client that it's not just the front end, right? It's not just the user experience. It has to be coupled with a strong backend.
Correct.
Right. I mean, a building is as strong as its basement, and a basement in case of digital customer experiences is the back end of it.
Yeah.
Right. The skeleton, the back end, how the product is defined at the core. I think that differentiates the longevity or the scalability of a solution.
I'm loving this because I expected more of a non-tech conversation here,
Okay.
but then I'm also getting some technical details out of
All
it. So
right.
I'm more than happy about this conversation.
Mhm.
All right. So Sahil, let's say, so when did your journey with Sitecore start?
So my journey with Sitecore has been over around 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. So prior to joining Horizontal, I was working with another IT company in India, and so the company is also dealing in Sitecore as one of the CMS offerings to the market. And yeah, I mean, ever since I've started working in this space, I've utilized my knowledge of which I gained during my MBA years. How since I'm an MBA in marketing, we used to talk about customer experiences. We used to talk about digital transformation back then. So yeah, I mean, yeah, how you bring traffic to your websites, what are the kind of experiences you give to your customers on the website, how do you convert them from just a prospect to the final sales. So the things that we learned during MBA, we are actually living that, or we are actually selling that through Sitecore now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a wonderful journey last 1.5, 2 years with Sitecore.
Nice. So what do you find different in Sitecore as a product as compared to some other products in the market?
So I think I would do the comparison at an open source versus
An enterprise level.
an enterprise level software.
product.
Yeah, right. And I think there are a couple of very famous open source CMS available in the market who probably would be driving more than 50% of the websites in the world. But that's not our play, right? We specialize in Sitecore, which is an enterprise solution. And the difference is that, for an open source CMS, everything is dependent on the community of sorts, right?
Yep,
If
very
the
much.
website goes down, then the company has to reach out to the community to seek solutions. Whereas with an enterprise software, with an enterprise CMS, there's a team dedicated who would ensure that your website is up and running, your website is scalable, your website is flexible with times. There are no security threats if a website goes down, right? I remember, with one of our clients, they saw an outage, but there was something wrong uh, with the software in the background, not with the software, but with the I think it was a Azure or something in the background had gone wrong. So, had that client been on an open source CMS, it would have been nightmare for the brand, because the website would have gone down maybe for days together. But because there was a dedicated team sitting at Sitecore, and with us as an implementation partner, we collaborated with Sitecore and we were able to bring up this website just in 6 hours, right? And I think a website is a brand is a company's. Uh, I think it's analogous to the brand equity for a company. Uh, so I think if the website goes down, it brings a bad name to the brand,
Very much.
right? So a company which has decent revenue, who wants to keep their brand flying high, in my opinion, should be investing on enterprise CMS rather than resting on the open source, which might be okay for a blog website, but are not reliable at an enterprise level.
I completely agree with you, because I think that is where you pay the price to get that level of
Yeah, I
support,
mean,
that level of.
you're talking about the price. I think it's analogous to buying uh, an Alto versus a Mercedes Benz. While I don't want to
Perfect.
demean a Maruti Alto, it serves its purpose well. But if somebody who could afford a Mercedes should go for a Mercedes, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And if a person who can manage a Mercedes, if that person would buy an Alto, then I think it's not doing justice to the brand that person is, right? So hence, I think an organization which is a brand in itself should, and if they're cautious of their brand equity, they should be investing on a enterprise CMS.
I think the coverage between open source and enterprise, I completely agree on. But again, I would like to go a little bit deeper. Why Sitecore? I mean, if you have experience working with some other enterprise level products as well, and if you compare them with Sitecore per se, might not be CMS products, might be some other products, because you have been in sales for a while. I've heard you say, Sitecore is great, Sitecore is good. Are there any specific distinguished things which you feel that make Sitecore special?
I think the amount of effort that Sitecore is putting behind innovation, sets it apart in a way that earlier it was on-prem, right? An offering. With the passage of time, when they saw a need to go headless, they
Yeah,
they went headless. And off late, Sitecore has moved into a SaaS category, right?
SaaS, yeah,
I'm sorry.
software as a service, and
Yeah, software as a service. So as a user, you don't need to. You just need to open your browser, you know, open your Sitecore instance, and you're ready to go. You don't
yeah.
need to download any software in your local instances and use that product. So I think Sitecore is investing huge amount of effort in revolutionizing the enterprise CMS space, and not only they're working on innovation, but they have, with their headless offering, I think they have made it easier for the end user to associate with Sitecore, right? It's not like if you're going with Sitecore, you have to buy the entire suite of products,
Yeah, very much.
right?
The
So
composable piece,
correct,
that's where it comes
yeah.
into picture.
I mean, so if somebody has a need for just a CMS, you can just buy a CMS, And if there is a need for you to manage your digital assets, the likes of your images, your videos, and host of other things, then you can just be you can purchase your, or you can top it up with a content
Content
hub
done.
dam,
Yeah, very
right? So,
much.
and CDP, which is a customer data platform, is also easily configurable into the existing
Very much.
CMS platform. So I think the composability factor um, uh, is making Sitecore. Sitecore is kind of making other CMSs run for their money. So yeah, so I think Sitecore is in safe hands. They are doing a great job, and we as platinum partners at Horizontal Digital, we are committed to take the Sitecore's offerings to the world, and now we are focusing in the India region. We want to bring Sitecore experiences to the India customers. Sitecore is thriving in the rest of the world already, and I think with the Horizontal putting its weight behind India region, I think we should be able to bring good experiences for India customers as well.
Yeah. All right. And how about your overall, like, if I have to sum this podcast up with somebody who is watching this, maybe getting started into sales, what are your 2 cents for that person? What he or she should be, you know, aware of or should be knowledgeable about to get into it?
I think sales is primarily around staying as close as possible to your customers. If you as a sales guy can understand what the customer wants, what the customer is struggling with, right? Only then you can be a good salesperson. And and in my opinion, it's not just about selling. I think it's about building good relationships with the clients, and helping them as and when needed. I think sales would become an after effect or an outcome of your relationship with the people you meet and you help, right? So, and then that's been my forte. I mean, I don't have too many sales tactics with me. It's just that you be a good person, you be a helping hand to your clients, and I think
Business
sales will
follows.
follow. Yeah.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you on that. So yeah, obviously we have been working around together, on a number of opportunities here. But I think one thing that has, really worked, I feel, is, we have never been running around clients to get business, but rather to help them out in their, in some way or the other in their digital transformations, whether through interviews, whether through discussions, whether through any other connects for that matter. And I believe the business just follows, or the sale just follows, because
Yeah,
then
man, a case in point, now that you talked about it. So, I was talking about a recent outage that happened. So, in that particular case, the infrastructure was not being managed by Horizontal,
very much,
right? And when the outage happened, we identified that the problem was with the infrastructure. And had it not been Horizontal, maybe the company would have said, "I don't manage our infrastructure. Please, please reach out to your infrastructure service provider." But
yeah.
I think as a committed implementation partner for our clients, we got our hands dirty. We fixed the infrastructure issue for them.
Yeah, without looking at the point whether we really own it or not.
Right.
The idea was to get it up and running without having access to the environments as well.
True.
So
Yeah.
I think that is what matters.
I mean, our people stayed up late till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? So even when it was not our responsibility, we stayed committed to our clients, and we worked with them late in the night and fixed it for them. So, now that we've helped our clients, and I'm sure this will register with them, and I think sales will follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Completely agree with that. All right. Well, Sahil, thank you for your time today. And of course, looking forward to more such episodes with you. But thank you for, giving us the knowledge around, overall your journey as a salesperson, and then a sneak peek into, your journey on Sitecore as well.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Right. So that was Sahil Singla for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.
Thank you.
That was Sahil for us. I hope that I was able to do kind of a justice, and do let me know if you feel I could have asked some different questions there. At the same time, the intention was that all of us generally, when we are like just thinking of development and stuff, the sales angle also matters. And a few examples which Sahil gave, I really liked. And yeah, looking forward to hearing from all of you, my dear community members. And yeah, also looking forward for uh, a couple of more episodes with Sahil. But till then, keep looking at the other episodes and podcasts, and do let us know what new can we bring into the podcast. Thank you so much. Cheers.